I'm an avid Blade enjoyer, so when I learned that he was making a game, or an interactive labyrinth poem, I was pretty excited. Like bro, it's Blade. He made Red Light and The Fool, both of which are top tier albums in my opinion, which is pretty crazy. It's definitely something new from him. Teaming up with experimental artist James Ferraro, who's a legend, credited for pioneering hypnagogic pop, and vaporwave. Yeah, that genre with the memes. Anyways, they dropped a project called Sanctuary, which is pretty unique. In their own words,
More as like an interactive poem or an immersive poem.
It's like a legend. It's like can take on endless forms and
Just the experience in and of itself being like the meaning or the message, and not necessarily having like an end goal.
it's not your typical shooter, but a walking simulator, packed with cryptic symbolism. The point of the game is not to win, but to evoke deep reflection on its metaphoric environment and its archetypical inhabitants. So, what is Sanctuary actually like? Basically, you spawn in the Tower of Babel, or some industrial messed up version of it. It's a decaying labyrinth, an eerie atmospheric world with mythic archetypes that loiter around and thought-provoking medieval art. The goal is to either ascend or descend the tower you're in, until you hit the end. In my playthrough, I ascended instead of descending. The game oozes with Blade's artistic influence, combined with Ferraro's uncanny ambient tunes. You're not going to be swinging swords or shooting any monsters, though that would be pretty sick with this art style. Instead, you're exploring and chatting with these AI-driven characters. I don't know if it's intended, but the AI is a bit iffy. I tried talking to one and it hit me with dialogue that matched the dreary atmosphere, but didn't really answer my questions. Like, I asked this one creature, which looks like decapitated heads intertwined with wires, "What's your name?" And it responded with something vague like, "I'm a virus that was created by the virus's virus." I thought it'd respond more directly, but nah. It's like they're there to mess with your mind, not help. Still, that fits the game's whole vibe. It's less about answers and more about feeling lost in the mystery. Apparently, Sanctuary uses Microsoft's Copilot to generate the unique dialogue for these NPCs. That's why it feels endless. Every time you chat them up, it's always different. Some NPCs' opening dialogues carries this obscure tone which fits the surreal nature of the game. Like, they don't just talk, they drop these lines that feel dreary and enigmatic, yet impactful, which I'm guessing Blades had a hand in. One time, I went up to a sunflower that was strapped inside a cage, and it said, "Europe was in a state of desolation and disease." My visions purified me. I had sensations of light in the passions of folly. I was kept inside a small prison, then led out into the open square. In the ruins of the marketplace, I was burned. I am Jeanne d'Arc. My remains were cast into the stagnant waters of the Seine. My initial thought was, how is this sunflower Joan of Arc? After reviewing this, I thought maybe it's about being trapped, burning out, and still lingering. The experience made me think about life, decay, and death. And I think that's the point. Another one was when I went up to a small jester with its arms and torso missing, and it said, "The tower is a cathedral of wires and emerges from the filth of the sewers into the ozone layer. We are linked to God. God must listen to what we say." Sounds like the jester is talking about a wired up version of the Tower of Babel, rising from the sewers to the sky, piercing the ozone layer, like we're trying to reach something divine through all this technology and filth. The last line, "God must listen to what we say," hits hard. It's as if we're demanding a connection, even if we're broken and lost. Now I want to talk about the ending of my playthrough, since there are different ones. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can close your eyes and cover your ears. I'll wait. Alright, so when I reach the end, this spinning octahedron shaped structure pops up, and the game drops this wall of text. It goes on about consciousness emerging from brain networks, language evolving with genes like FOXP2, which I'm not even gonna act like I know anything about, and free will being tied to imagination. It's deep, talking about how we went from jellyfish nerve nets to high definition senses, and how technology is almost godlike now. My favorite line is, mortality is perceived as an end, but in reality, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It simply transforms, making existence a continuous flow rather than a termination. I think it's saying we're all part of this endless connected flow, consciousness, nature, technology, and the interconnectedness of it. And Sanctuary is making you feel that instead of spelling it out. I think what this spinning octahedron represents is a universal truth. Spinning to show existence never stops, just shifts. A visual for existence as a continuous flow. So yeah, Sanctuary is quite a surreal fucking trip. It's Blade's first game, which is pretty sick, and you can definitely see his influence on it, paired with Ferraro's experimental touch. I love the thought-provoking aspect of it, like, what does this labyrinth mean? What does it represent? Are the NPCs supposed to be us or something else? But I'll be real. The AI dialogue can feel random, and I wish it tied into the world more. Still, that's part of its charm. It's not here to play like a regular game, you're supposed to just experience it, which I think is what Blade and Ferraro set out to accomplish. If you're a drainer or into weird games like Cruelty Squad or Disillusion, give it a shot. You might love it, you might not. Either way, it's free. And your take on it might be totally different from mine. I'll put the link for the game in the description, and you can check it out. Much love, thanks for watching, see ya.
Talk to